spoken, and now we're going to bring up Supervisor from District 5, Supervisor Dean Preston.
Thank you, President Walton, and I think I'm going to say that again just because I like the sound of it. Thank you, President Walton, and congratulations to you on not just becoming board president, but doing so unanimously. I think that says a lot. I want to thank the residents of District 5 for giving me the opportunity to serve as your supervisor for another 4 years. And I have to say that to talk openly about fundamental change, to have this platform to work toward replacing capitalism, to be part of a movement and a struggle to serve and mobilize the working class in our collective effort to reverse centuries of oppression, inequality, and injustice is really a privilege. And I feel fortunate to be here. I feel humbled to have been reelected, and this time to have the opportunity to have a full 4-year term. I want to thank my wife, Jenkin, my daughters, Sky and Kira, my father, my brother, my late mother, and my late sister, who made me promise before her very premature death that I would run again when the seat became open. And she saw me in my first election and was determined that if the seat should become open again, I should run. So I want to thank my team, and as others have said, we're only as good as our staff. Kyle, Jen, Avery, and Preston. A special thank you to the Democratic Socialists of America, to all the tenant activists, to the progressive labor unions, and the dozens of organizations and community groups that are really the backbone of our movement here in San Francisco and beyond. You are the builders of the better world that is to be and that we will get to. I also want to thank the city leaders and the District 5 voters who believed in and trusted our vision. I wish we could be together in person, and I recall last year in the special election, we were able to all gather in chambers. If we were together in person, I would hope to be able to give you some of the energy and inspiration and resolve that you all have given me. As a democratic socialist in this year in government, I have found common cause with my colleagues on this board and so many people across city government on many issues. But I've also had to learn how to stand alone at times, and that's okay. And I want to thank the activists and the visionaries who have stood with me, who have held me accountable. Thank you for being my moral compass as I serve in office and as I navigate the complexities of serving in legislative office. And to the billionaires who smeared us, who attacked homeless people, who tried to take away rent relief and the promise of social housing in the name of their ever-growing bank accounts, I say, while your tactics were wrong, you were right to oppose me because I'm coming after your billions. We will build a more equitable society. We are making history together in the face of threats and opposition of all kinds, not just a pandemic, but racism, fascism, corporate dominance, forces of actual evil masquerading, as we see in the Capitol, as patriotism. We're fighting the fight locally and beyond through real material gains and progressive policies. You can love your city and your country without hate. You can love this land and the people on it without loving the system as it is. And to those in Trump's America who call us traitors for our unwavering progressive values, our socialist values, we are proudly disloyal to your corporate and white nationalist agenda. We will not support the ongoing exploitation and abuse of the oppressed, of people of color, of the poor and working class for profits and white supremacy. As a democratic socialist, I stand in firm opposition to the status quo and in support of reordering our society, redistributing the wealth, privilege, and opportunity that for too long has pooled at the very top. Last year, locally in this last year, and just to name a few things, I mean, we banned evictions during the pandemic, doubled the transfer tax on high-end real estate sales to help renters pay back rent and build social housing, helped immediately ban in San Francisco the knee to neck chokehold that killed George Floyd, launched the city's first pandemic hotel program, moving District 5 homeless women and families into hotels and joining with our colleagues on this board to pass unanimous legislation to require the city to house homeless people in hotels. We championed in District 5 one of the first safe sleeping sites in the city for our homeless neighbors, established slow streets in the district, renamed a street after San Francisco's first Black firefighter, Earl Gage Jr., championed protections for local small businesses against evictions, reversed muni fare hikes and won a fare freeze, organized a massive mutual aid operation with volunteers, helping District 5 seniors and distributing thousands of masks and gloves and hand sanitizers to underserved communities, stopped increased healthcare premiums for city workers, wrote and passed a law to authorize 10,000 units of social housing, and won rent protections for Midtown Park apartments, among many other things. So that's in our 1 year, and I can't wait to see what we can do in a year, especially in a year when we don't have an election. And I got to say, this pie in the sky tastes pretty good, and we need more of it. So let me just say, colleagues, on so many of these issues, you were right by my side, and I was right by your side on your valuable legislative efforts. I'm excited that we are only strengthened with the addition of Supervisors Chan and Melgar to the board as we kick off 2021 and continue our work. And I think, as others have referenced, I mean, this promises to be an extremely difficult year. COVID's raging in the community, poses serious challenges to everything we hold dear. We have rent debt mounting, evictions right around the corner, unemployment on the rise, neighborhood business, we know from our hearing and from talking to folks in our district, these businesses are closing left and right, and our infrastructure investments will be really hobbled by the recession. But amidst that, our goal cannot be just to stabilize things. We need to do that. But we also really need to reimagine what rises to replace the failed system that has made us so vulnerable to COVID, to hate, to misinformation. Together, we need to remake this system so it delivers for the people. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity to serve.